It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
We are going beyond old school on the podcast today. Thanks for checking out your favorite 15-minute podcast. I appreciate it. I'm recording this on a Sunday night, heading into a Monday, new week. Hopefully your week shapes up well. I think it should be a good week. We've had a busy couple of weeks at work, a crazy couple of weeks, including some very late nights, working till 11:30, which for me, I'm going to adjust the camera here real quick. I apologize. Which for me is so late now. So late. Even a year ago, I was, and it was probably not the healthiest thing, but I was staying up till midnight regularly. I'm going to hit midnight tonight because of the NBA playoffs. But I was staying up late. I was enjoying, reading, playing games, playing video games, watching shows, and I was staying up too late. Now I just can't. And so last couple of weeks working these events, working stuff that was getting me home at 11:30. Oh my gosh, I am old. Too old. Hey, why is this going to be an old school podcast? I wrote nothing down. I've got no notes. We are free form tonight. We'll see what happens. That was me taking a drink of water. Did not have that in the notes. Okay, so I'm in a discussion right now. I'm in an argument that I love. I've had this argument many times with many people, and it's just so funny that it happens in real life. I thought it only happened on weird ESPN TV shows, but I'm in an argument right now about LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. Who's the best basketball player of all time? And I lean LeBron. I'm an MJ guy. I'm a kid from I'm a 80s, born in the 80s, grew up through the 90s, fell in love with the NBA, fell in love with basketball in the 90s. Michael Jordan was the gold standard and what everyone wanted to be. He was the man. He's the man. He made me want to play basketball. I love Michael Jordan. I'm also not an idiot, and I can watch with my eyes, and this has been documented ad nauseum by this point, because this is one of the things that always pissed people off when I was doing the sports show. I'm more than willing to admit that things are good now, and that yes, I grew up through a certain decade, but that doesn't have to be where the best is from. I don't need that in my life. I don't need that validation that I was watching good sports or whatever. I know I was watching good stuff that I liked. LeBron's 41. Now he's going to lose tonight to the Houston Rockets. They're down by over 20. But the Lakers are up 3-0 in the series. Going to be up 3-1. They're without Luka, they're without Austin Reeves. LeBron is 41 and he's just grinding in playoff basketball. So I'm in this argument with Kenny and Ryan, and Ryan and I are trying to just talk to Kenny about, dude, yes, MJ's so stinking good. LeBron has done it forever, high level, has played a bazillion games, has been to a bazillion finals. Well, he hasn't won 6 championships. Michael Jordan didn't play against Steph, period. Michael Jordan, there was no team in the 90s like the Golden State Warriors, none. There was not a team. So go through, and this hurts because one of those teams that Jordan beat was the Sonics, who I loved dearly, dearly. But if you go through the teams Jordan beat, there's some really good teams, obviously. They were the best teams in the Western Conference over and over and over again in the finals. None of those teams are the Warriors. The Steph Warriors are crazy. LeBron gets more championships if the Steph Curry Warriors don't exist. But the Steph Curry Warriors might be the best basketball team of all time. Anyways, I don't need to argue all this. This is an argument that's happening on Marco Polo. The reason I wanted to bring this up is because if you are not an NBA person, but you are a fan of greatness, it's unfortunate because I've had to watch him play a couple times in the last week. He was out for 2 games with a concussion, but Victor Wembanyama Played again today against the Blazers. Spurs beat the Blazers by 21 points. Total beatdown. But Wemby was back. And so LeBron, Jordan, all this discussion, right? That's the discussion. I'm a believer in Jokic. I think Jokic has rights to claim greatest of all time, even though obviously he's way behind MJ and LeBron in terms of stats and what he's got on his resume. But I think Jokic is just a phenomenal basketball player. We're talking about playing basketball. He's as good as you get. He's as good as you get. But Victor Wembanyama really has a good chance to win a title this year. Victor Wembanyama has a chance to win a lot of titles, and he is freakishly insane. And if you've never watched him play, this is why I bring all this up. I'd recommend just tuning into a Spurs game. Watch a Spurs playoff game. You're going to have time to watch some of these. They've got another one coming up in a few nights against the Blazers, probably the last one of that series. I can't imagine the Blazers rallying to force a game 6 in that Spurs-Blazers series. But Wemby tonight, he had 27 points, he had 12 rebounds, and he had 7 blocks. He blocks anything. If it's by him, if you drive on Wemby, and you do not have a plan to throw one to the rafters, blocked. You're driving down the court, Wemby's kind of trailing you, blocked. You better do something weird. You got to pass to a guy in the corner. You got to pull the ball out and fire a fadeaway in the corner. But if you try to attack the basket and Wemby's trailing you, blocked. It's wild. And then on defense, sag off 3. Now, he only hit 1 tonight, but he's notorious for hitting 2, 3, 4 threes because the second you close out on him, blow by, 1 step dunk from just inside the free throw line. He's insane. Wemby is insane. So I've enjoyed having the classic LeBron, Michael Jordan discussion. Comes up every now and then with friends, and it'll happen again, and it will be an argument for a while. But there will be a point where this LeBron, Michael Jordan argument, the people who are nostalgic, cheering for nostalgia to reign supreme, there's a lot of people like that. They're going to join forces at some point, okay? That's going to be a thing that happens. They're going to join forces because they're going to have to fight against the Wemby crowd in 6-7 years. When the Wemby youngsters are like, Wemby's the best ever, the LeBron and MJ troops are going to have to unite and be like, whoa, youngsters, nostalgia. Let me tell you about a greatest of all time argument. LeBron versus MJ. And these young kids are going to be like, first of all, Michael Jordan, you can't even see him in SD. If you bring up old Michael Jordan game film, it's so bad. The quality is bad enough that it makes him feel like a worse player. And then they're going to come up with they'll figure out the holes in LeBron's stuff against Wemby. Anyways, watch Wemby. I've talked too long about that. I love the NBA playoffs. I actually watched NHL playoffs, a little bit of that today. But we've had a fun weekend. We went garage sailing yesterday, went yard sailing. And we decided to go to the biggest neighborhood apparently in Lexington, where they had a yard sale. So I love garage sales. I think they're so great. I don't love them with 3 kids. I've realized 3 little kids. That was a nightmare. Woods was not having it. The almost 2-year-old was, nope, this is not for me. So I was mainly outside with him, trying to keep him happy while my wife and the 2 older kids would look around at the yard sale stuff. But the second my wife gets 15 feet away from Woods, he loses his mind. He's like, oh no, you will not be leaving me at all. I am your child. I am the baby, and I'm a mama's boy. So I'm working on him. But the thing with yard sales and little kids, we gave them each one of the kids some money that they got to spend on whatever they wanted. You want to talk about bringing home some of the worst crap ever. So overall, when you're garage sailing, maybe 90% of the stuff you see at a garage sale when you walk a neighborhood, and like I said, this is a huge neighborhood, so I had so much time to think about the crap we were buying in between houses. Too much time. It's like, a 10-minute walk from one house to the next house. And the whole time I'm like, oh my gosh, I need there to be no more yard sales. I don't know where we're going to put this. I don't know where we're going to put this big broken plastic toy. It's not even working. And when you buy it, they're like, I don't know if it has all the pieces, so I'll give you a deal. And you're like, great, thank you. Boy, I appreciate that. I'll give it to you for free. Yeah, I know you will. I know you will, because your dumpster's full. So, of course you're giving it to me for free. It's crazy. Anyhow, we brought back a lot of really bad crap. And I was mentioning 90% of the stuff in yard sales in general is garbage. So you're trying to seek out the 10%. Your kids do not have the filter for that. They do not have a filter to seek out the crap, put it aside, and try to find the gems. So you just are guaranteed garbage. And the thing that stunk was we went to a house that had the thing I always want to buy. And I didn't bring any money for me because I was like, I'm not doing the yard sale thing. I'm not going to spend my discretionaries from the budget on yard sale stuff. But we got to one house, just a big hashtag audio adrenaline. It was a big house. Lots and lots of rooms. There's a big table that they were selling in the front yard. Anyways, that joke fails miserably for pretty much everyone. So they have a bunch of stuff on the ground, and I see it. I see it when we're walking up. I go, that's the thing. And I start prepping the kids. I'm like, guys, they have something great on this yard. They had 2 huge plastic totes of Legos. That's it. Put all your money together, and we're getting it. So I walk up to the lady. I'm like, how much are those? $30. I go, $30 is a screaming deal for these Legos. Screaming deal. So I mentioned it to my wife. My wife was on my wife's phone was insane. That was the other thing. My wife apparently was in the middle of work stuff or something. It's either I think it's a combination. My wife's phone rings all the time with her family or work stuff, period. 24/7. I can't even get a hold of her when I'm standing next to her. It's work. Her phone's on work or family all the time. Someone's always reaching out. And then when someone's not reaching out, the second I go to talk, then my kids chime in. They're like, well, now it's time for us. So I don't know the last time I've spoke to my wife. I think it's 4 years, probably. Anyhow, we're in this yard. I see the Legos. I look to my wife. I'm like, okay, we need to make a game plan here to convince the kids to get those. So I'm telling my wife this. I realize, she's gone. So now it's just me and the kids, 1 on 3. I'm trying to finagle woods. The big kids are kind of going around looking for stuff. And I'm like, guys, those Legos are what we need. And of course, they find a puzzle, well, which is great. We had a great time with the puzzle. A puzzle, and I'm trying to remember what Olivia found because it was so bad. I'm trying to remember what that was not the house where she found a Tupperware filled with candy corn. You know that candy corn is 8 years old. You know it's probably poisoned. That's all she could think about was this. So she got that. That was a terrible purchase. But Olivia bought something. Huck bought something. I'm sitting there and I'm just begging for someone to buy these Legos. And I probably should have just been an adult and bought them with my money. Duh. But I didn't. I wanted the kids to pick them out because I wanted them to like them. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about it for 2 days because we need to build up a Lego collection in the house. All of my Legos are at my parents' house back in Spokane. And anytime we're at my parents' house, the Legos get busted out and Huck and Olivia are lost for 30 minutes to an hour easily building Legos. So this was on me. I went to a garage sale. I found the unicorn. The unicorn is Legos. If you are someone my age, you've enjoyed toys, you know you've gone to a yard sale and you have looked specifically for Legos. I found them. I didn't buy them. I'm going to kick myself for a very long time about that. If you see Legos at a yard sale, buy them. Period. They will actually get used. They will get you your money's worth. And I think 3 of the toys we brought back have already broke. The Legos would not. I know 3 of them. One of them got eaten. Oh, we're going to wrap up with this. We've hit, we're at the 15-minute mark. My dog. Some people really love dogs. Really love dogs. The dog we have, all it does is eats everything. My kids will never have anything again. And it's my favorite. My wife will say, well, hey, look, if it's on the ground, it's fair game. And I'm thinking, we've got 3 little kids. They don't know. They're just playing. Their brains are little. They leave a stuffed animal on the floor. My daughter left a stuffed animal she got at the zoo a couple weeks ago on the floor. I didn't see it. She was playing with it behind a chair. I'm hanging out with Woods. We were trying to throw a ball back and forth. We're trying to learn how to catch a little bit. And she leaves this stuffed animal on the ground for probably 3 minutes. And all of a sudden I hear a scream when she goes back, and Judy has eaten the foot off of the stuffed animal. And I'm like, Judy, my daughter should be able to, in her own house, leave a stuffed animal on the ground for 3 minutes and you don't destroy it. And it's everything. This little basketball we got yesterday, Woods got his mitts on it. At some point during the day, he threw it. At some point of the day, Judy got it. I look over, and then in the corner of the house, it's in smithereens. And I'm thinking, I don't like dogs enough to want to sit here and babysit this. I don't want to babysit it. I've got to be able to live in a house where I can be with the kids and not have to be with the dog. That's just how it has to be. So for you dog lovers out there, I don't know how you maneuver this stuff and how you get fired up about it, but my dog and I, we are at odds. Judy versus me in terms of trying, and it's all because of the kids. I just want the kids to be able to have, I want Huck to be able to own a Lightning McQueen car that doesn't get chewed to shreds. I want it to be able to exist on the floor for an afternoon because he's 4 and he's going to play with a car on the floor throughout the day. And he needs to be able to walk away from it for 2 minutes to go pee or to have a snack or to go up to his room and then come back down and continue to play with it without it being chewed in half. That's not where we live. All right, so there's me venting. And this is why I plan out the podcast. Now you know. Okay, thanks for checking it out. I appreciate it. Your favorite 15-minute podcast, the Sean Widmer Podcast. You can hit me up on Spotify, YouTube. You can go to seanslife.com, leave a comment there. I appreciate you checking it out.